Então, neguinho.
Porra, Dadinho. Chega assim na minha boca, meu amigo.
Quem falou que a boca é tua, rapaz?
É, quem falou que a boca é tua, cara? Qual é, Dadinho?
Dadinho é o caralho, meu nome agora é Zé Pequeno, porra.
Zé Pequeno sempre quis ser o dono da Cidade de Deus, desde os tempos de moleque, quando ele ainda se chamava Dadinho.
Ele se diverte, eu vou ficar à toa.
Que foi, moleque? Teu amigo já levou tudo? Tá querendo o quê, moleque?
Naquela noite, Dadinho matou sua vontade de matar, mesmo sabendo que o cabeleiro não ia perdoar. Para escapar do castigo, ele resolveu dar um tempo fora da Cidade de Deus e teve que dar duro para render uma mixaria.
Que isso, menino?
Otário, igual você. Meu perfeito otário. Valeu, Benê.
Dadinho e Bené sabiam se virar sozinhos. Tava na cara que eles iam se dar bem no crime.
Quem deu a ideia?
O único problema era encontrar um bicho solto maior que eles, como meu irmão Marreco.
E aí, Dadinho? Porra, cara. Sei que tinha morrido lá no hotel, cara. Tá numa boa aí, né? Cheio de dinheiro, qual é?
Não pega não, Benê. Qual foi, cara? A grana é nossa?
Tomar no teu cu, rapaz. Me dá esse dinheiro pra cá. Ai, Bené, fala pro teu irmão cabeleiro que aquele filho da puta, aquele Paraíba tá caguetando geral. Que eu vou ralar peito da favela.
Marreco! Aí, toma pra tu. A cabeleira, tu vai precisar. Toma.
I'm going to analyze a scene from the movie City of God, which is considered a masterpiece by many, has won several awards around the world, and it's famous for its non-linear storytelling and its innovative cinematography. It takes place in a Brazilian slum or favela known as City of God, which is known for being particularly bloody. The movie follows around many characters that, in spite being rough and violent, are also very charming and have powerful motivations. In this scene, a bunch of bad guys force their way into an apartment to the surprise of their occupants, which happen to be also bad guys, just not as bad as the ones breaking in. It's just the story of how one group of drug dealers takes over the place from the other ones, and it's a metaphor of how they are also taking over the drug business. This scene is repeated in the movie many times from different perspectives to tell different interconnected stories. In this particular example, it is used to set off Little Z's storyline. He is the most ruthless and evil character in the movie and ends up being the main villain. In the first shot, we can see that the apartment is very run down and it uses a cold color palette, which tells us that the people who live there don't really care about it, unlike other shots like this one, where it actually is a family home and a warm color palette is used, so we can understand that these are gangsters. This is a medium shot where there is a character that is mostly centered, signaling he is the main one. The camera follows him briefly, but the line of action is pointing towards the edge of the screen on the left. All the characters are looking that way, including him. He's also aiming again in that direction, and all the tension points that way. We can see that after the doors open, letting the new gang in, the camera shifts focus to show us who the new main character is. The gun is lower and they can move freely into the shot. We also see here an example of the rule of thirds. Then, the guys that came in are the ones in control. The camera is used to tell that idea and switches from high angle to low angle depending on which side is being shown. Also, We can see this character trapped in flat space, and the sudden camera movements reinforce the tension. Now we have a medium close-up on Little C that allows us to see his angry expression. This serves as his introduction. The transition to the next shot is a morphing effect that takes us to his childhood. We had already seen Little C as a kid, and we had even seen this shot previously in the movie, but he was presented as the part of a gang. He was the little innocent one, while the others were grown-ups and scary. They were there to rob a motel. Everyone inside the motel ended up dead, and we were led to believe that the grown-ups left Little C outside while they carried out their plan and killed everyone. But things are going to take a dark twist, as it is revealed that the murderer was actually Little C and the gang had just left him behind after the robbery. This shot is a close-up right before the character enters the place. Half of his face is lit up. This high contrast gives a dramatic effect. He feels left out and trapped, and the flat space and vertical lines shows that. When he changes his mind and decides to go in, the way he turns his body around changes the line of action, announcing the twist. The next few shots are shown very quickly and tell the escape of the grown-up rovers as they get scared by the gunshot. These are mostly wide-angle shots that allow us to see the character actions very clearly. The ones with the car are framed within the frame using foreground elements. In the next shot, the shallow depth of field plays a very important role as it lessens the importance of the people inside the room, dehumanizing them. They will just become the victims of our villain, who in this medium close-up shot appears from the dark to showcase his most important transformation. This is when his evil nature kicks in by killing these two faceless figures. His expression changes. He turns around and literally walks into the darkness. Then he walks into the same location where the robbers were shown previously. This is a wide-angle shot that reveals the truth about who killed everyone in the motel. There is a lot of empty space being shown here. Every object is motionless and relatively calm, while this bloody killer seems to be playing a shooting game. There is a clear division marked by the diagonal line set by the large counter, which emulates a shooting range. There is a high contrast between the light and shadow, where the character is clearly placed in the dark side. Having the light on the other side serves to highlight the wire grid, which symbolizes that the victims have no escape. The next shots serve to show the evolution of the character as a criminal. We see a series of low camera angles and narrow depths of fields to emphasize the character actions. Then, we keep seeing the switch between low angles and high angles as a device that showcases the shift of power between characters. In this case, one of the old members of the gang tries to rob Little C and his friend, but they end up overcoming him. It all leads to a montage where we see the same extremely low angle shot again and again as the character grows up while he fires his gun on the camera. When the sequence starts, it is daytime, and by the end of it, it has turned into night, which symbolizes the completion of his transformation. And that's how we get to know finally the real Little C, the most important gangster of the City of God.